There is no way the Sharks do this. I need them not to do this. If they do it, it's going to make me really angry. And I just can't sit here and not say anything about it because, okay? Now, before we get into the news today, this video is brought to you by Kalshi. And if you download it using the link below and entering the partner code DIGESTNHL, you'll get $20 when you trade your first $100. But back to the Sharks. So, in sports, there's always going to be trade rumors at any given point. People are always going to be talking about trades. They're going to look at players that they don't really want on their team anymore and think, what could we possibly get back for him? It's just the nature of sports. Everyone's going to be talking about it. It's always a consistent conversation going on. But there is one person in particular that I wholeheartedly trust when it comes to rumors, and that is Emily Kaplan. She has fantastic relationships across the league with their GMs. So I wholeheartedly believe when she came on my dear friend Johnny Lazarus's podcast saying that the Sharks might be an interesting team for the Rangers to trade Artemi Panarin to. I need to take a deep breath here because that is so dumb. That would be so dumb. Okay, no shade to Emily because she's fantastic that she's just reporting what she's heard. But that would be so dumb. Okay, it's not worth it. It's not. Please, it's not worth it. Okay, the Rangers have this bald man who sincerely believes that he's fighting demons up in his hair, and if he shaves it off, they're gone, which it's got to be psychosomatic that it kind of works, but that is psychosis. That is crazy. We don't need crazy superstitions coming to the locker room. We don't need the bald epidemic, because for whatever reason, Ty Dellandrea already shaved his head. People don't seem to know why, but the bald epidemic can start and end with the Rangers. We don't need it here. We don't need Panarin, okay? The Rangers are really just looking at the Sharks as a piece of meat in terms of their prospect pool. The return is probably going to be somewhat underwhelming for Rangers fans, at least. They're not getting Macklin. They're probably not even going to get anyone who's on the starting roster right now. And any of the 4 lines or 3 lines of defense. They're probably going to go look at the beautiful little prospect pool that the Sharks have, because it is a fantastic pool of young players. But it's not worth it. It's not. Okay? Panarin is absolutely notorious for not back-checking in the slightest. And Shang Peng, like a week or two ago, came out with this article saying that if the Sharks want to be true NHL Stanley Cup contenders, they have to clean up on defense. And this post-game interview with Misa very much echoes that sentiment. Misa also said the defense cannot be this loose. Pucks can't keep getting to the net like that. If they want to actually compete, if they want to be considered a genuine contender, they need to clean up on defense. And Artemi Panarin is not going to do that. He's just going to stand there and watch as the puck goes by. He's not going to... You think he's going to, check someone? You think he's going to block shots? No, not at all. He's just going to stand there. And that's not going to help at all. The Sharks don't need more goal scorers. We just traded for Kiefer Sherwood, who is probably the biggest puck hog in the league. I remember at the very start of the season, he had 9 goals and 0 assists. That's a whole other thing. But between Kiefer Sherwood, again, puck hog, the lovely little connection that Macklin Celebrini and Will Smith have, Eklund doing well, all these guys playing well. They don't need another guy to score goals. They need a guy who's going to stop the puck from getting to the net, because that is the biggest issue that the Sharks have right now. Askarov and Nedeljkovic are seeing too many shots, and too many of them are getting past them as well, because they're kind of getting left to hang, left out to dry by themselves. They're kind of fighting their own battles, but it shouldn't be that way. The team should be helping them, and again, Mr. Baldman is not going to do that. And then you take a look at the line combinations, and granted, you can you can switch Eklund and Graf, but like Regenda really, like, he's been really great, and honestly, like, kind of deserves a spot on that second line. But where are you gonna put Panarin? Like, put him on the first line, cool. Then you bump down Regenda down to the fourth, and then what do you do with Goodrow? Where are you gonna put him? Like, it's not worth it. And like, you consider the whole quote unquote veteran presence, because the Sharks are a young team, and again, as I said before, their prospect pool is probably the most promising in the NHL. Maybe competing with the Canadiens for that, because Canadiens also have a very strong prospect pool. But Sharks are unbelievable prospect pool, and a trade for Panarin would just result in getting rid of those young players. And if you're considering the future of the team, why would you trade for a guy who's 34 years old and, again, bald and sincerely believes that demons are in his hair? Why would you trade for that? And again, going back to what Shang Peng said, there needs to be defense. Like, there needs to be contributions from everyone, stopping pucks from getting to the net. And Artemi Panarin is not going to do that. And one of the biggest, like, strengths that Panarin has is on the power play. I will give him that. It is incredibly fun to watch him just mess with people on that blue line. However, there have been so many times that him doing that has resulted in a rush in the opposite direction and a goal. And also, the past few years, like, he's been up and down when you need him. Like, the Rangers have watched him not show up in the playoffs. Like, there have been several times where he's been MIA, where he's not doing what they need him to do. So why risk the future of a really promising team for a guy who's not going to give them what they need, and he's going to be gone in a few years? Whereas you have all these young guys who are going to be here for a while. It's just not worth it. I am losing my mind at these rumors because I don't want that bald man on my team. It's not worth it. Plus, when you add everything else with all these players coming back from injury, plus Misa's here to stay, which is so funsies. But it just gets more confusing. And again, like I said before, there needs to be guys who are going to contribute defensively. And one of my favorite things about Celebrini is that he is a superstar forward who also back checks. But Panarin is not. And if we really want to compete, Panarin is not the answer to our problems. If anything, he might just bring more problems because he's a little sketchy. He's a little tiny sketchy, but like, I love the vibing on the power of friendship going on with the Sharks right now. The Sharks are loving the vibing on the power of friendship. You know, the Macklin Celebrini Will Smith connection is undeniable. Celebrini has contributed on pretty much every single goal that Will Smith has scored this season. It's a beautiful thing. What's going on with the Sharks right now, it's not an offensive issue. It is defensive. And Panarin, Artemi, Mr. No Backcheck Panarin, is not the answer to the problem. So please, please, for the love of God, do not trade for him. Please.